Hey guys, it's Molly, and today I want to talk about my current primary card that I use in my velocity banking strategy and kind of the history of where that was from the beginning of this year to where we are right now. So, in January, like January through July, I would say, I was just keeping my head above water, making my minimum payments on my credit cards across the board and really stressed to the max because we had a series of financial situations ever since the lockdown, and it just seemed like I kept hoping, okay, our financial situation is going to get better, it's going to get better, and it just wasn't. And so we were not just living paycheck to paycheck. We were not able to live paycheck to paycheck without the assistance of credit cards. And so for this particular credit card, you could see in my statements where it said it would take 20 years to pay off this debt if I continued to make the minimum payments. And that's assuming that I never put another dime on the card and that the interest rate did not, tick upwards. Well, I was putting money on this card. I had a $30 medical bill that I was auto paying with this card. And the reason I was doing that was because I didn't have the extra $30 to pay for it. So it was going on the card. And my interest rate has increased from January of this year. On this particular card, it's gone up 1.5%. So my original primary card, that one's gone up 2.25%. So imagine I've got 6 cards, and let's say the average is, like 1.875 increase. I'm now looking at, if I continue to do my minimum payments and just try to keep my head above water, that's an extra, I think I calculated it out, almost, $49 a month extra on top of everything else. So nothing else changing, just like a little slight uptick in the interest. It's an extra $49 a month. So it was becoming, and of course y'all all know, gas prices are going up, groceries are going up. So you're getting hit like everywhere. So it's getting harder and harder to keep your head above water. So as you look through and you can see, I'm posting these up January through July, my minimum payments are pretty much staying the same. There's a difference. I think the low was 224 and the high was 241. And I'm just, trying to maintain. And then we get to August, because August is where I, started applying velocity banking to my additional cards. So when I started with my primary card in mid-June, I was binge watching Christy Van's videos, and I understood how to do it with one card, but it took about another 6 weeks before I thought, wait a second, I can do this with my other cards. Like, I've talked about sleeping the cards. So in July, so August of this year is when I started matching for this particular card. So I matched my husband's child support payment. So in August, you can see that I just had, I ignored the interest on it. So on some of my earlier videos, I said you could go ahead and pay the interest so it doesn't accumulate. But guess what? It still accumulates. So I was just like, I need every maximum dollar that I can to put on my primary card. So at this point in August, what I did was I ignored the interest that I was going to be charged. And I was like, I'm just going to match it, make this payment with the child support payment. So then when September came around, it was actually the last week of August, I had paid my initial primary card down from a balance of $8,353 and some change down to $550. And I was like, well, I've got this, kind of large minimum payment due on this secondary card. So I'm going to go ahead and switch, because I did not have a payment due for September for my primary card, because I'd been paying that weekly. So I didn't have anything due in September. So I got a little break there. And when it comes back in October, the interest on that is going to be like $15. So the entire payment is $27. So I went ahead and made that switch. And so for the past 3 weeks, I've been using this secondary card as my new primary, because it is the one with the next highest minimum payment due. So I went ahead and made that my primary. So this has been my primary card for 3 weeks. So I started putting money on the card, as you've seen in all my money tracker videos. I started the last week of August. So my very first payment on this card was September 2nd. So when you look at the balance on that September statement, when I actually started using this card, the balance had already been increased because I had started, putting my variables onto this card. So when I started, that September 2nd was going to be my first payment on this card as my Velocity Banking card. And so at that time, my balance was $9,140.65. And there was a minimum payment due. Because now I'm using it as my primary card, I don't have to worry about that minimum payment because I'm paying this card weekly. Okay, so that's when we get all into this, I want y'all to remember that starting September 2nd was $9,140.65. So for the first 7 months for this primary card, when I was just trying to keep my head above water, I was making my minimum payments. I was not late on those. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I paid out $1,653 to this credit card. And 62% of that went to the bank for interest payments. Okay. So $1,653 I paid out, and they kept $1,027.69. So in 7 months, only $625.31 came off my balance. Okay. In 30 weeks. That's how long it was from the beginning of January to the end of July. It was 30 weeks. And I took off $625.31, and that's it. And then, because I had that medical bill going on to it every month, I actually only was able to, decrease that balance to $415.31 in 7 months. $415.31 came off my balance. And at the same time, they're ticking up my interest rate. So it's less money that's coming off my balance. Now, once I made that switch, okay, my first payment on this card as my Velocity Banking debt tool, my balance was that $9,140.65. And if y'all watch my money tracker videos, the past, for September, you now know that as of September 23rd, that balance is now $7,908.73. So that means in 3 weeks, I was able to take off $1,231.92. And that includes the interest that I was charged. Okay. So I was charged interest during that time period. I was charged interest on September 11th. So that September 2nd balance and that September 23rd balance includes the interest that I had to pay for this month. So $1,231.92 paid off the balance of my card in 3 weeks versus what was happening over 7 months. Okay. So people will ask, well, what about the interest on your other cards? Because I have said several times, I'm now ignoring the interest on the other cards. And let me tell you why. Because let's take a look at this. So credit card 1 was my primary card, right? And we got that down from like $8,353 and some change down to the $550. And so my interest in October is going to be a whopping $15, right? And then credit card 2, because I'm ignoring the interest, all of this stuff is going to keep accumulating. So you can see it's still accumulating, but it comes out monthly, right? And my Velocity Banking card is getting paid weekly. So you can see that the amount that's coming off my primary card just in 3 weeks is almost double what I'm being charged in interest monthly on all my other cards. So as I go into the next month, this credit card 3, which is the one that I'm using as my primary card, you can see there that it's $158 in interest. Well, it was actually like $157.48. And that was what I was charged in September. It's not really going to be that in October because I am paying this down so quickly. So that interest is going to go down. And then once this card gets down low, then I just move to the next card, which will be that credit card 6 because it has the next highest minimum payment due and the interest. So yes, I am paying interest on my other cards because I am ignoring the interest. I'm sleeping those cards, but I'm paying down my primary card so fast that it far exceeds whatever interest I'm being charged. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. If y'all have any questions, please post below. Thanks, you guys.